Today I'm going to be showcasing the differences between the LG G3 against the Sony A80L. These are two OLED TVs released by the brands recently, and they would like you to purchase them. But there's some differences because you wouldn't want to just go into the market not knowing the differences between the A80L and the G3. Granted, they are not like very much different from each other. They still use the same OLED panel technology, but you still need to know there are some slight differences because they are two different companies and they have different things that they shine at individually. But let me first start out with the LG G3 OLED TV, which features a new micro lens that drastically increases not just the luminance but the picture uniformity, which is wonderful. And when you look at the Sony is no slouch on its own. It has incredible picture quality for what it can offer. The LG G3 is a wonderful TV. It's in the gallery edition. But there are some things that it comes with that may make it a bit different from the Sony if you want to go for rate over the Sony. First of all, let's start out with the screen sizes. You're gonna get four sizes with the G3. You get 55 inches, 65, 77 inches, and 83 inches. Now, I understand that when you look at the Sony model, the A80L as well, it has that same four sizes. But at times, size is not really the most important thing when you want to select any of these two. The most important thing is what these TVs can do internally. Okay, so the A80L has a three-way aluminum stand. It's very much the same as their flagship A95L that I talked about yesterday. This model as well has a built-in microphone with voice control. Now, when you compare it directly against the G3 is going to come with the latest MLA technology, which is micro lens array technology, which helps this TV to be incredibly bright. The other thing again is that it is going to have a heat sink. The LG G3 is going to have a heat sink. The Sony model is not going to have a heatsink, and that's the big difference as well. Because this heatsink helps because when a TV gets crazy bright, it needs a heatsink to keep the heat down, or else you might damage the TV. And also the G3 has a brightness booster max, and it's only for the 55 to 77 inch range. It also has a game optimizer. It also has a dashboard zero gap design. The other thing again you get is Wi-Fi 6. The LG G3 OLED TV has Wi-Fi 6. I understand that it's not too important for many people. They don't really care about what Wi-Fi model they get. But when you look at the Sony A80L, it's coming with Wi-Fi 5, and that's an older Wi-Fi technology. For Wi-Fi 6, you're going to enjoy streaming content with your TV. You're not going to have glitches mostly because the Wi-Fi signal will be better overall because it's the latest Wi-Fi technology and it can handle a lot of speed using that Wi-Fi 6. So I would suggest if you want faster internet connection on your TV, you might have to go for the G3 simply because it's coming with Wi-Fi 6. Another thing it's coming with is Bluetooth 5.2. Now, when you look at the Sony A80L, that model is coming with Bluetooth 4.2 as opposed to 5.2. People will say, okay, what's the big difference? Coming with Bluetooth 5.2 is a massive difference from 4.2. Connection stability, the way you can use it with a lot of modern mobile devices is very critical. So if you need wireless connectivity, you need to get the LG G3 because that Bluetooth 5.2 is very important. And a lot of people need the latest Bluetooth technology, and Sony isn't offering that with their A80L right now. The A80L as well can be wall mountable if you want to do so, but because of the aluminum stand and the way they've made it, you don't need to mount it on the wall. It's not really made to be mounted on the wall, but When you look at the LG G3, it's kind of like designed to be on the wall because of the way they've made it. It stand is not really gonna hinge on it being mounted on the wall, so you can actually take off that stand and just mount it on the wall. It's going to be flush on the wall. You're not going to even miss a thing with it being on the wall. Now, in terms of picture quality, let's go there. The refresh rate you get on the G3 is 120 hertz, between 100 hertz to 120 hertz. When you look at the Sony model, is the same. It's 100 to 120 hertz. Both models support 4K resolution. The A80L has a cognitive processor XR, while when you look at the LG model, it's coming with the Alpha 9. It's coming with the Alpha 9 processor, which is ridiculously fast as well. Now HDMI you're getting is 4 on the LG TV. You're getting 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, which I think a lot of people will like. Then in terms of the Sony, you're gonna get 4 HDMI ports, but I keep telling people that 2 of it is going to have HDMI 2.1 support, not all 4. I don't know, but I don't know why people are finding it difficult. The other 2 cannot do HDMI 2. They're not coming with HDMI 2.1, but I stand to be corrected. It's coming with 4 ports, but 2 will have 2.1 standard support. I could be wrong with this, but yesterday someone corrected me saying that all 4 supports 2.1. But let's see what happens eventually when everyone starts getting these TVs into their homes. And the other thing again is that you get high frame rate with the Sony A80L. You will get it, especially it depends on what you are watching, but you get 4K at 120 hertz, even when you're playing HDR10, and it supports everything like variable refresh rate. You get auto low latency mode with it, and if you really want to game a lot, you need to go for the G3, because not only does it support variable refresh rate, it supports free sync, it supports auto low latency mode, it supports everything. The only thing I see that the Sony A80L supports is just the variable refresh rate. It doesn't support free sync. So I don't think this A80L is very good or very much suited for all forms of gaming. If you want gaming, if you want to only game with these TVs, you need to just stick to getting your hands on the G3. I think the G3 will be a lot better overall for me, because of what I'm seeing with basically the fact that you can use it for all types of gaming without any issue. The other thing again is that it does support, at least the G3 supports QMS, it supports CEC as well. You don't get that on the Sony. The Sony only supports CEC. The Sony doesn't even support filmmaker mode. There's filmmaker mode on the LG. There is HGIG support as well on both TVs. It's on both TVs, so that's what you get. You get good speakers on the LG model, but it's not going to be as good as the Sony model. The Sony model is using the Acoustic Surface Audio Plus, so you're going to get better speaker performance on the A80L when you compare it against the G3. That's something. Even the A80L supports Dolby Atmos, supports Dolby Digital. The only thing it doesn't support is DTS:X, but it supports DTS Digital Surround. Then when you compare it against the LG model, the G3 model, you'll be blown away. Not only does the G3 support full-on Dolby Atmos, Dolby Digital AC3, it supports DTSX. It supports Dolby. It supports DTSX. It supports DTS digital surround. It supports DTS HD audio. These are formats that the LG A80 doesn't even support. It supports both DTS. Supports DTS HD. So it does everything. The only thing it doesn't support is DTS HD master audio. Really, I think the LG G3 is already by far outpacing the A80L. I really don't see any kind of like comparison between these two. In fact, the G3 is even outperforming the A95L in terms of performances and specs and what you can get on the TV alone. The LG model also supports HDR10, HLG, Dolby Vision IQ. The only thing it doesn't support is HDR10 plus. It doesn't support HDR10 plus, and the same is can be said for the Sony. It doesn't support HDR10 plus. It supports Dolby Vision, but it doesn't support Dolby Vision IQ. It doesn't support advanced HDR, and it doesn't support HDR10 plus. So very important you know all this before getting your hands on any of these two TVs. The other thing again is that on the LG TV, you're gonna get WebOS, and the version is WebOS 23. The other thing is that you can update it. The OS cannot be updated, so that's a bit of a problem. But on the Sony, you get Google TV and you can update it. And the SoC on the Sony is the MediaTek MT9950. That's what you get. That's what you get on the Sony. But every other thing is supported on the LG. You get Apple AirPlay 2, you get HomeKit, you get Voice Assistant, you get Amazon Prime, you get Disney Plus, you get HBO Max, Hulu, Netflix, YouTube. You get all these things there. The only thing you don't get on the LG G3 is Chromecast. It doesn't have Chromecast support, but when you flip it to the A80L, you get Chromecast. There's Chromecast support on the A80L. That's just the only difference. So if you want Chromecast support, you go for the A80L. But if you really care about other specs, if you really need other specs like DTSX support, better audio performance in terms of what it can accept and process compared to the other brands like Sony, I think the LG G3 is by far the best TV that you can buy right now. Honestly, to be honest, except if you want to buy a QD OLED TV. So this is the differences you can expect between the LG G3 and the Sony A80L. If you like this content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, follow us here on YouTube. I'll see you guys very much next time.